of Strategy and Development. On behalf of the Flying Operations team, I'd like to introduce the C2 Plus briefing concept. So why do we want to change the way we brief? Well, feedback from not only our pilot group, but the industry in general, tells us that threat and error management enhances flight safety. We benchmarked some overseas and domestic operators and found the C2 Plus briefing format best suited our operation. And in fact, some JETSTAR Group airlines have already moved to C2 Plus. So what are the major takeaways from this video? Firstly, a thorough cross-check by the P&F is fundamental. Secondly, the C2 Plus briefing concept allows more thinking and less talking, thus freeing you up to better manage your operation. Finally, brief only the mandatory items. Remember, if it's a threat, then brief it.
Pete, I noticed you've got the 3,500 for the acceleration altitude. That's the Hoppler requirement, is it?
That's right, Chris. Chris, you ready for a brief?
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Melbourne runway 27, Cows 5 departure.
Check.
It's chart 20-3B, effective 11th of March 2010.
Check.
On the chart there's a constraint at Hoppler at or above 4,000 feet. And as we discussed earlier, we'll manage that by increasing the acceleration altitude to 3,500 feet.
Understood.
Terrain considerations, the MSA on our departure track is 4,500 feet. After Hoppler, once we've turned south, the MSA will become 3,700 feet.
That's checked.
Weather considerations today, there's no significant weather. QNH check, 1013, 400 feet. 410 on the ISIS.
And 410 on mine.
Operational considerations, the engine out procedure off runway 27, it's track 263, 5 DME, left turn, track 190. Engine out acceleration altitude of 1,940 feet.
Yes, check.
Post procedure, track 190, climb to the MSA.
Roger.
Otherwise, there's no other relevant threats. Any questions?
No questions, Pete. Pete, you ready for the brief?
I am, Chris. Go ahead.
Pete, expecting radar vectors for the VLR runway 09. Chart 13-1, effective 28th of October 08.
Check.
We'll be using instrument procedures and will be managed laterally and vertically.
Understood.
We'll be referencing the Bali VOR 16.2. That gives us a minimum altitude of 470 feet and offset 520, a visibility of 2,800 metres.
Let's check.
Initial missed approach is 091 to 3,000. MSAs, we've got 2,000 to the west and 3,000 to the east, so we'll reference 3,000.
Understood.
Significant threat here is the high terrain to the north, gives us an MSA of 9,700. So with that, I'll make sure that we always stay south of the aerodrome.
Understood.
Okay, the weather, the cloud base is 1,600 feet, but the visibility is well above 10 kilometres. So with that operationally, I'm expecting to break visual outside the circling area. Once inside the circling area, then we'll be breaking right, pick up the straight-in approach.
Understood.
On the landing, we'll be using idle reverse, and the fuel, expecting about 9,500 for the arrival, and agree with the figures that you've already done of 6,800 for a good weather diversion to Surabaya. That should give us just over 2,500 spare, which is enough for us one more approach before we have to make up our mind to stay or go. One of the other significant threats here is going to be the ATC and their vectoring. Make sure we only get vectors to intercept before the final approach fix. Additionally, I've had it before where they've kept us in very tight, so I'll make sure before we do that intercept that we're back at flat 2 and the speed's back.
That's understood.
Pete, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, nothing to add, Chris. No questions.
Pete, you ready for a brief?
I am, Chris. Go ahead.
Okay, so runway 20 centre departure, Anito 4 Bravo.
Check.
Chart, got 10-3 Bravo, effective the 18th of May 07.
Check.
Now we've got quite a number of notes here, Pete. I'll start at the top. We can expect possibility of ATC vectoring. The departure time at the moment means the subtow crossing height's not applicable to us.
Understood.
And we can expect initial departure altitude of 3,000, and I have 3,000 has been set.
Check.
We've got a crossing height there of Susan of 4,000 feet. FMS is indicating 3,900 at the moment, so when we do the taxi, if you could advise ATC that can only at the moment indicating 3,900.
Will do.
And the crossing height from the FMS is presently 310. How about we just advise fly level 290 crossing height Anito?
Understood.
Excellent. MSAs to the southwest be the highest for the departure, 2,100 feet.
Check.
Weather tonight, we've got thunderstorms out there to the northeast. We'll just make sure we get a good idea of exactly where they are for the departure, just in case they move.
Okay, understood.
QNH, presently 1013, indicating 20 feet, ISIS 20 feet.
20 feet.
Operational threats tonight, we've got that no team indicating the taxiway lights are out near the threshold. Now you're regularly here, Peter, I haven't been here for a while. What do you reckon we can expect?
Well, we can expect to be told to hold short of Alpha 6 on North Cross Street.
Roger. And I've got nil additional significant threats. Anything you'd like to add?
I'll advise ATC of the Susan and Anito height requirements, and I'll check the location of thunderstorms on the weather radar prior to our departure. Otherwise, I've got no questions.
Excellent.
Just remember, the focus of the video is on the process, not the detail.